This is alternative political analysis, and this video will be on Theresa May's failures. There was an unauthorised relaxation of border checks on non-EU nationals when she was Home Secretary. Also during her time at the Home Office was the controversial Go Home Van scheme, and would actual deportation instead of the vans not have worked better? And May's Home Office was advised by the Saudi Arabian Interior Ministry. So basically, far right Wahhabis were advising the British Home Office. And there was a controversy of the abuse of female asylum seekers at Yarl's Wood Detention Centre, and Theresa May, as Home Secretary, prevented United Nations from visiting the women. And Theresa May, as Home Secretary, opted out of the European arrest warrant. This was prior to Brexit, and she was a Remainer. And Theresa May, as Home Secretary, failed to stop a stream of Brits flowing out to West Asia to join Wahhabi murder gangs, an example being the 3 girls who joined ISIS. And as Home Secretary, she banned Richard Spencer and Pamela Gellert from Britain in 2013. What happened to freedom of thought and expression there? And while Theresa May promised a crackdown on hate crimes as Home Secretary, Rotherham, Rochdale, Sheffield, Bradford, Oxford, and all aforementioned rape gangs chose victims on the basis of their race. So that shows the difference between her rhetoric and her record. May oversaw policing cuts and left the Home Office with police morale at an all-time low. Under May's Home Office, Britain had a record level of net migration, which was 336,000 people in 2015, and it was 135,000 in 2016 when she left the Home Office. And there was an increase of 91,000 net migrants from 244,000 in 2010, and total immigration went from 591,000 in 2010 to 650,000 in 2016. And net migration has decreased by 49,000 in the last year, and this has probably more to do with the Brexit vote in the EU referendum than her premiership. And deportations decreased during her time at the Home Office. However, she did deport tens of thousands of students, all of whom who had entered Britain legally. and bogus colleges that falsify students' records so illegal immigrants can work in Britain proliferated on May's watch as Home Secretary, as she did not assign enough staff to monitor them. And Theresa May never had the courage to stand up to Gideon Osborne over cuts to the border agency. So Georgie could make any cut he wanted, and Theresa would say nothing about it. And Theresa May refused to tackle the issue of Wahhabi indoctrination in schools. Her Home Office failed to deal with genital mutilation, honour killing, and forced marriage. Also, let's look at the Tory record on national debt. British national debt in April 2010 was £960 billion, and when the national debt when David Cameron left in June 2016, it was £1.6519 trillion, and the national debt under May's premiership has went up to £1.8469 trillion, and it is growing by £45 a second. And Theresa May's government is running a deficit of £63 billion a year. We know this because the expenditure of the government's budget is £784.1 billion, whereas the revenue is £721.1 billion. Theresa May has presided over £22 billion of cuts from the NHS, over £1 billion in cuts from social care, and May has been generous enough to give corporations over £1.1 billion in tax cuts. Also, let's look at health on Theresa May's watch. Jeremy Hunt says he will downgrade the 4-hour NHS target as it is often being missed, with patients waiting 5 hours or later due to health and social care crisis that the Tories created by cutting the NHS and social care to begin with. Also on Theresa May's watch, 0-hour contracts have increased from 747,000 to 903,000, and the Institute for Fiscal Studies say real wages will be below 2008 level in 2021 with the policies of Theresa May's government. And the Office for Budget Responsibility states that the lack of growth will cost minimum wage workers over £1,300 by 2020. Yet somehow the media are portraying May and her government as safe pairs of hands. They're anything but. They are incompetent, and just comparing Corbyn to May, it shouldn't even be close. May has a proven record of incompetence, Whereas Jeremy Corbyn's career over between 3 and 4 decades of good, solid public service, it really shouldn't even be close. And I'd recommend that viewers check out Alternative Political Analysis YouTube channel, subscribe, check out the Twitter, the Facebook page, and the blog for more interesting posts and videos.